Hello and welcome back to the channel once again. My name is Olo and today we're talking about more Lost Ark, a title that's been playable for years in the East with Korean servers at its launch, but now with Japanese, Chinese and even a Russian release under its belt too. Next it's coming to the West and we've been anticipating this game for so very long now, since 2014 originally. This is far from my first video on the game, since as an MMORPG style game, compared to say Diablo, it's massive in its systems and mechanics to satisfy any long-term MMO player. Outside of the heavy-hitting action combat is that MMORPG aspect. The game has a dedicated story that you progress through the early levels of your class all the way to the max, with cinematics and their own special introductions. Each main archetype of the classes get their own area to introduce them to the world from that perspective, giving you a chance to try out the advanced classes before making your final choice, because there's no going back after that. We see lots of questing to do throughout the journey to max instead of a more Eastern style of mindless grind, which I'm personally very happy to see. We've got dungeons, we've got PvP, we've got the Infinity Tower, world events known as the Chaos Gates, and as you might imagine, we got professions too, known as the life skills. Plus, we got player housing and even some ship-based stuff too. There is a lot going on in Lost Ark, and there is a lot to talk about. So, I strongly recommend that if you've not seen this game before, check out my original video covering the many aspects of this massive game, everything you need to know for more detail. But if we stop and look at the base level where we're just looking at the combat, those animations are really good. And the sheer variety of not only the classes, of which there's 6 core types to choose between, but their advanced or subclasses, all unique from one another, which puts us at 18 classes in reality now. With that, make it 19 with the upcoming release of the newest class, the Scouter, a gunner who makes use of their drone companion for some suited up specials. But also, as you can see, they have their own combat suit to power up in too, and unleash some sort of overcharged blasts, smashes, and laser beam shots too. And like many of the classes in this game, it looks absolutely fucking insane. So, just like we did for the Holy Knight class launch, I wanted to take a specific look at the upcoming Scouter and see exactly how it works and what it can do. Firstly, in its visual design, it really reminds me of the mech fighters from the recently released to the West Phantasy Star Online 2, mostly down to those pointy parts on the back, I admit, but when he powers up and the suit envelops him, it really reminds me of that. And obviously, it's very futuristic considering the advanced technology this guy's making use of, and stands kind of in stark contrast to the many other classes of this game that are more medieval and warrior-y and knighty or even magical in nature. Somehow though, they seem to make it fit in this world. Mechanically, the Scouter makes use of his rifle for quick light attacks while making his fast movement, but is very capable of heavy-hitting blasts where possible. We see him make use of that rifle for suppression and high DPS output that will hold him in place for its duration, which is where that companion drone comes in. It looks to be the main focus for your elemental abilities to support you in the fight. While you're laying out your damage, the drone goes in at the same time for, say, a freezing stun or suppressing fire to stagger opponents, or even do a big AoE fire attack too. The Scouter himself makes use of the drone to use quick repositioning by grabbing onto it in a sort of flyby attack. Then best of all, you can combine the drone and your rifle into a more powerful beam firing machine like a cannon for high impact and high damage. Or best of all, as per the name, you use your Scouter to call in a spaceship to do a bombing run on a set location, aiming it almost like Senna's ultimate in League of Legends. That's a lot of variety, including some more minimal moves to help you reposition and organize your attacks, but things really pick up when we go into that ultimate ability. The Scouter enters the combat suit, all mech-like in nature. Pulling up a visor on screen, we then have a limited time to make use of our new power levels as shown by that sync balance on screen. This improves you across the board, passively making you more mobile from those thrusters attached to your back now, and less restricted with abilities too. Your attacks across the board act like the combined drone and rifle, giving you blasters and beams for high impact, piercing shots, and extra drone summons, as you can see. Though this futuristic style is certainly unique in Lost Ark, I think the most unique aspect of this class is actually the drone. You're going to have to work well with that companion for effective gameplay, squeezing in those drone attacks in between your own, and positioning yourself for maximum damage at a safe distance, while at the same time positioning the drone for effective CC or AoE. It's really cool to see some more companion-focused gameplay in Lost Ark, as it can clearly work very well. I just think it's really special that we're now up to, what, 19 advanced classes, and we're still seeing something completely unique and different to anything else we've seen in the game. All that's well and good, but to say I'm conflicted over which class I'm planning to play is a understatement. I honestly have no idea between the 7 I'm particularly interested in that I'm going to choose. But the question is, when will I actually be able to play this game? As I mentioned earlier, it was confirmed via the Lost Ark official Facebook that they're currently working on their preparations for global release. Now, after their successful launches in China, Japan, and Russia, the interest was proven across the different regions and has given them a solid experience in releasing it in those various places. Not to mention, on top of that, the Russian version gave us in the West a way to play the game properly for the first time without a VPN, if your ping can handle it, as an option if you're interested. But we don't know when this Western release is going to come. We're still waiting for that announcement. In a previous video about this topic, I was wondering how the game would release too. Would it be a full release with all the content currently available on the Korean servers after the many years of dev? Or would it be like Monster Hunter World PC, where they released limited content that then released more at an accelerated rate until it caught up? It's a huge game, and it's been ongoing in dev for years, so there's a lot to pack there. There's lots of questions like that, and obviously, when? So be sure to keep your eyes on this channel, because I'll be back with new information whenever we get some. For now though, I've been Hollow, you've been you, this has been Lost Ark, and I'll see you next time.